Good evening, everybody. Please join us for our calling the meeting to order, and now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Oh, there he is. Fashionably late. All right, can you go ahead and take the roll, Aaron?
Sure. Councilmember Dietrich.
Here.
Councilmember Pointer.
Here.
Councilmember Sherburne.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Here. All right, everybody's here. First item here is, there's no changes to the agenda, correct?
I have no changes.
Anybody have anything that they want to pull or?
I move for approval of the agenda as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
All right, before public input, I'd just like to let everybody know that I understand that all candidates have turned in their names for, running for our council and mayor. We have Linda and Mary Ann and myself are still up, and we also have additions of Diane Hamill, Kurt Minor, and Joe Dietrich. So, best of luck to everybody, and, move on. Okay, next, public input. Please state your name and address at the podium here. For the record, before proceeding with any comments, individual remarks are limited to 5 minutes, with the overall public input period limited to 30 minutes. Under Iowa Opens Meeting Law, the city council can take no formal action on comments given during public input period which do not relate to action items on the agenda. Is there anybody who'd like to speak to the council tonight?
Jay Schmidt, 750 Ridgewood Drive, Manchester, Iowa. And what I'd like to talk about is the meetings being put on the internet. When this was first proposed, one council member wanted it and talked about it. And some of the council members weren't here when this happened. And there was no backing. No one else backed her. And what she did is got a hold of Mr. Jock from Manchester, who's the mayor, or from Dartmouth, excuse me. And he came over and presented it. And it was all positive stuff. And they've been doing that for, well, they were doing it on TV years ago, and then they started about 12, 15 years now. So finally, they had a meeting, and Linda comes home and tells me that they're not gonna do this. So I thought, well, I'm gonna go do the petition. So I got ahold of some people. And we got 550 names that wanted it. People were excited about it and wanted it. And that's just the way it was. And I read these comments from October 5th, 22. Some of the council members commented. A few have stopped me and said, we don't need this at this time. And I'd like to talk to those people, that anybody found these people, why they didn't want it. Cause I had to work 10 days to get that petition going. That was a lot of time on my part, when the council and the mayor should have took this and researched and went with it. It's too bad a citizen has to do that. But I want to see our town succeed, because every other town around us having it, even small towns. And I don't know why we were dragging our feet, but it's not good. But I didn't hear anybody complain to me about having it. And I think it's a success. And the meetings have changed since they're on TV. Cause and then we do have a few complaints about the older folks can't understand very well. They can't hear it real good. And maybe they ought to think about updating a little bit. Cause everybody's worried about the cost. And that's the first time I heard anybody worry about the cost down here. Cause we just bought a $300,000 street cleaning machine. So as far as money, me and my wife were gonna pay for it, but she said, there's plenty of money down here. They buy everything. We moved that gazebo. By the time that was all done, that was $50,000. And, why don't we update this a little bit so the older folks can hear it a little better? And that's all I got to say.
Thank you. Anybody else like to approach the council tonight?
Is this about anything on the agenda or?
Yep.
Come on.
Nope, anything on the agenda?
Is this a certified count utility?
Oh, Ed, you need to address.
Address you. I don't appreciate it.
Please say your name and address.
Ed Boynar,
Mhm.
Manchester, Iowa. You want street address?
Yes,
Okay, 724 East Howard.
thank you.
Okay. If you're going to make statements in front of here, you need to do them with some background and some certification. And not just come out and say what pleases you. It was a new idea to have this program recorded and also sent out to people. I have no idea, I've never heard how many people actually attend the meetings online. Are we judging that, or is that not something that's online, can I ask?
I can't really respond tonight.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
It's on the agenda.
I understand. The point I'm trying to get at is there needs to be, if you're making a statement, you need to have a background on that statement. And not just come up with what you feel like. Say that you're the only person that cared about being viewed online here is incorrect. What was the vote, Tim, of when it was
I
certified?
don't know
How
that
many
we can
people?
answer that, but it went 5-0 if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Okay, well, once again, I apologize for interrupting, but once again, I feel a need that reality needs to be proven here and not just judgment cases.
Is there anybody else who'd like to approach the council tonight? Nick?
Hey there, thank you. My name's Mick Crumpton, and I reside at 168 Delaware Road, Manchester. I also have commercial property on West Main Street, lot 2, 3, and 6 and 7 on the Carusco subdivision.
Right.
And so my question today is with regards to the proposed construction of McDonald's on the lot that would be east of where the subway building is located now. And what the discussion is gonna be and remedies for the water mitigation that's gonna be an issue once that's developed. And I don't know if there's anything, I'm looking at the site plan. I don't see, is there any retention pond being created in addition to the ones that are already there? And what's the evidence that any additional ponds, in addition to the ones that are there, are gonna be sufficient to handle any water flow coming down from the northwest?
Okay,
And so,
those will actually be addressed when we talk about the site plan coming up in the agenda here.
okay, so
Okay,
that's all I need. Thank you.
okay, you're very welcome. Thank you. Anybody else like to address the council? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public input period and we will move on to our consent agenda. The first item today is I need a motion to approve the minutes of the September 8th, 2025 regular council meeting. I need a motion to adopt resolution 80, and that's approving the bills and expense report. I need a motion to acknowledge the receipt of the following city reports and minutes, and that's the library board, planning and zoning, wastewater, park and rec, and the airport committee. Next, I need a motion to approve a liquor license application. This is a 5-day special class one for Lucky Wines Slushies for the Oktoberfest event on October 12th. And I believe that's down at the Whitewater Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Next, I need a motion to approve resolution 81, and that's a salary resolution approving the hiring of Christopher Fuller for the position of police officer at a starting wage of $32.97 an hour. It also approves the hiring of 2 library employees, and I'm gonna butcher this name, I'm so sorry, Lindsay Kolhasi,
I think that's correct.
was that right? Oh, wow. And a children's librarian at a wage of $20.25 an hour, and Cheryl Hunter as circulation clerk at a wage of $14 an hour. And then I need also a motion to approve the downtown incentive grant payment request. This is for the facade in the amount of $6141.34 for Franklin Place at 102 North Franklin Street. And also in the amount of $52.94 for Franklin Place at 102 North Franklin Street. These are for Steve Warner, is that correct?
For the Franklin Street
Yes.
owners.
Yep.
He's representing them. correct?
Okay, perfect. And I will take a motion and a second, and then we will open it up for discussion.
I move to approve the agenda.
Consent agenda, okay,
I'll second
okay. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. Linda?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Mary Ann?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna take a moment to swear in Chris. I don't know, do you have some family here? They're all here, okay. So we'll get this. Yeah, we'll just have you come over here if that's okay.
That's great.
Have a good dad. Okay, I'm gonna let you stand on that side. Okay, we're going, and I changed it. All right, so I just need you to raise your right hand. I, Chris Fuller,
I, Chris Hogan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
that of the state of Iowa,
and that of the state of Iowa,
and that to the best of my knowledge and ability,
and that to the best of my knowledge and ability,
I will perform all the duties of police officer
and I will perform all the duties of a police officer
of the said city of Manchester, Iowa.
of the said city of Manchester, Iowa.
And I know there's family here that probably want to take some pictures. Do you want to take some pictures here real quick? We'll get that done for you. Well. we'll get- it's a lot of- This is your dish. There you go.
All right, thank you so much.
Congratulations, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
There's Norman. Dave? No? You don't want your picture taken with him?
I'm not gonna make you use Snapchat.
You saved me last time. I had.
You see this? Not really.
I'm a bomber.
All right, let's get a photo.
Okay, let's, we'll move this way.
I don't want to be in this one. Not this one.
We'll move this way just a little bit.
There we go. Transition.
We'll do it right here.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Come on in, James.
Any more?
Yeah,
that's
me and
good. Oh, okay.
Okay.
I guess I-
Okay. You don't realize the middle.
Get out of the way, Mom.
Fine, right. All right.
All righty.
All right, thank you. Congratulations. We will. All right.
Welcome aboard.
We'll get through there, okay? Sorry about that.
No, they get you. As we get over it, they get you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Positive way to look at it.
All righty. Next, we have a public hearing tonight. I'm going to open the public hearing at 5:14 PM. And this is on an application for a combination of, oh, should Joe sit on the other side?
Yeah, Joe, will you sit in the audience?
Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, this is a public hearing on the application for a combination of adjoining lots pursuant to city code section 170.36. And you want to go ahead and speak to this, Tim?
Yep, so this is again, related to the ordinance we adopted not too long ago, allows you to combine two lots for zoning purposes, for setbacks and stuff like that. Since Councilmember Joe, Dittrich is a council member, we did ask him to recuse himself from the table, so he does not make a vote or anything. This is going to abstain from that. So are there any questions from the council as far as the process here? He submitted the application. We send notices out to property owners within 200 feet. It comes before the council for review. Once it's approved by the council and combined, the only way to split those lots then is by going through a subdivision process. Correct.
Any questions or
So.
it's a public comment, so if anybody has any questions or comments on it, they can talk to council.
I did, my question would be to Joe.
Yeah.
Why does he feel the need to join these two properties?
That's a great question. You can ask him later on.
There you go.
All right, hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing at 5:15. And before the council, we have resolution 82 to approve the combination of adjoining lots under common ownership.
I'll make a motion to adopt it.
And I'll second that.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Bill,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Mary Ann.
Yes.
Okay, Joe, you can come back and join us.
I just remembered how much I don't like being on that side.
All right. Next, we have a site plan review, motion to approve,
no.
or just a second, I jumped ahead, sorry. Regular agenda items? Did I miss something?
Resolution.
6.1.
6.1. Oh, vitality groups, I'm so sorry. I gotta lean this back this way, my bifocals. Bifocals are terrible, okay. Anyway, Manchester Vitality Fund Committee is requesting to place fall decorations at the 4 intersections with stoplights in town, and we have Julie Frick here to talk to us tonight.
We'd like to set these up on Wednesday if we can, similar to last year. It'd be the pumpkins, the corn stalks, and the straw bales.
Mhm.
So they'll go up hopefully Wednesday, and they'll come down whenever the Christmas decorations come up right before that.
The biggest item here is for safety, to make sure that we're not blocking visibility in the intersection. And that there is at least a 4-foot path for ADA compliance
Yep.
around those for the sidewalks.
And so is that from like where they, from the light to like where the bridges are? What does that 4 feet include?
4 foot has to be an open area that is ADA compliant slope.
So they can get to the slope. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Got it. Yep.
They were really pretty last year.
They were
I thought they were, it was really cool to see downtown, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna add down by the cemetery this year. That'll be
Oh.
4-1. Yeah.
So this would be all the traffic signals, so it'd be Madison and Franklin on Main Street, and then there's a Butler and Acre Street on North Franklin.
Okay, perfect.
Do we want Jason just to check to make sure that they're okay as far as?
We would
Yep.
appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys as you put those up, and make sure we don't have any.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to make sure that we don't have to move them and.
Yep, so I'll reach out to Jason and.
Yeah, because again, visibility is key factor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Again, thank you for all you guys do for making our downtown look so pretty. Thank you. Okay, so I need a motion and a second.
I move to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve this again this year
Okay, so here's a second.
I'll second it.
with the addition of.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Brian,
Yes.
Linda, yes, Mary Ann,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Thank you, Julie.
No, thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate that.
next we'll go on to the site review. Sorry about that. Kathy Stevens permits, it's a motion to approve this site review. Kathy Stevens Permit Solutions has submitted a site plan for a proposed McDonald's to be located at 1201 West Main Street. The site plan with proposed project have been reviewed by the city staff and P and Z during their meeting on September 11th. There have been no requests for variances, and the site plan complies with the city's code of ordinances. A driveway that intersects with South 11th Street will provide access to the location. I'm gonna let you speak to that, Tim, and then we'll Jason. Or-
Les Schulte's
Went
here,
through-
and then Jason
Oh, yeah.
Langer is here. So the site plan is for McDonald's, and there's been some discussion about the dirt moving out there. Well, that's site prep, that was not part of the site plan. And Jason Langer can talk about that first regarding stormwater management and flood control. Wes is the property owner, he can handle the site development, and how they're
Okay,
proceeding with that. So if you'd like to have them come up.
yeah, because maybe we can get Nick's questions first addressed on that.
You want to address the flood control?
So, yeah, and I've done work for Nick in the past as well, so we've, so what we've done out there, this is in the flood fringe area, which is the 100-year floodplain. And the city's ordinance doesn't have any requirements per se to requiring compensatory storage or modulating for fill you place in the floodplain with compensatory or additional cut somewhere else on the property. It only regulates, stormwater management as it relates to 100-year post-development can't, be more than the 5-year pre-development. In this particular instance, on the overall development, we've done something a little different here. We are actually providing compensatory storage. And what I mean by that is we're cutting detention ponds or cutting dirt out of other areas of the site to offset the fill that's being placed below the flood elevation on the lot that he's looking to develop, which is closest to the frontage of Main Street. With that being said, there's also on top of that is the stormwater detention to meet the city's requirements of the 100-year 5. So what's out there right now is only in progress. There is still a whole nother stormwater detention basin that needs to be excavated west of the sanitary sewer that's out there. So West has 2 developable lots and has identified stormwater management areas up there, which he's in the process of prepping. As a part of McDonald's site plan review, Wes and myself are working with their engineers to review and make sure that the overland flood routing through there doesn't create adverse impact on the adjoining property owners. Wes has been in contact with the animal health, upstream owners, and then the subway to the west right now, which I think west, and all the grading we're doing out there on the area that'd be immediately adjacent to mixed property is all gonna be a cut. All that ground's gonna be lowered to provide additional storage in that area back in that field in the back there.
So essentially that's gonna become a big bathtub back there.
Correct.
To the
north.
To the north
To
of
the
the
north
McDonald's.
To the north of the lots. So there's currently a sanitary sewer that runs through the property.
Right, on the north side.
And there'll be a saddle in there, so there'll be a detention on the east and west sides of that, and the detention pond will extend into the subway lot further to the west there.
I have a question. I've seen different detention ponds here in town that are almost full of water all year round. How is that gonna help if a flood system going on?
So when I'm talking about flood elevations, it's based on the existing ground elevations to what it is, what I'm doing afterwards. So there's gonna be an outlet pipe at an elevation that I think is 49.5. That northeast corner where animal health is at, that's at 53. Most of the lot by Mick is at 52. So we're cutting that down. And so that culvert pipe will maintain the water elevation down at that elevation at all times. So there'll be water elevation in the ponds because there's high groundwater out there. But that will be that'll be regulated by the elevation of the outlet pipe out of the pond. Then the elevation, the volume above that is what's available for the storage. So if you look at the existing ground, see the northeast corner of the lot, of the area that's already been, and I'm just kind of going, round numbers here for everybody, but the northeast corner that everybody thought was animal health, northeast of the sanitary sewer, that's actually Wes's lot. There is went from 54 to 52 basically, and then it had the swale through there. We're excavating that all the way down to 47, so there'll be a permanent pool of water in the bottom of it, but it'll be regulated at roughly 49. And so from 49 to 51 is the live storage that's available. And that 2-foot live storage is still lower than what the elevations of the ground were prior to us going in there and starting the development.
Another question.
Yes,
Is this property on a floodplain or floodway?
floodplain.
So,
Are you okay if Mick asks me
Yeah.
questions? Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just,
Bottom line, just.
no.
No,
I'm just trying to make
Just be
sure.
clear, I don't own the subway building a lot anymore. I don't need
Right.
skiing in the restaurant business in town anymore. So the development of McDonald's is not my issue. My issue is the water.
right.
And I've been doing business out there since '92. And when Lextron did, or Animal Health did their development and addition, there were certain aspects of the ground and water table and all those studies were done and retention ponds put in. And I've seen water since those have been developed get bad enough, and now those are rare occasions, again, those
Right.
crazy
There,
monsoon
and
rains.
we're never gonna be able to fully mitigate against those you know, 500, you know, those.
100-year events.
Right, but
those
even
significant
just
events.
as early as this summer,
Mhm.
that whole area.
So there's,
was full of
and I think there's, yes, and I think there's probably been, you know, there's probably some ongoing maintenance that can be done to kind of help that as well. And what I mean that is just management of some of the waterways and the drainage ways, just making sure that they can actually flow water and everything's going the direction it should. I believe, you know, with the way, I know there's been some people have asked, well, why don't we just make one, you know, take the Electron pond out, make one big pond out there? Well, we don't own all that property per se, but I feel that by cutting this corner out and adjusting the elevations down, we're actually going to help the outlet out of that Electron pond, because I think it got kind of caught up in the drainage way through there that was kind of overgrown and built up, where water couldn't actually flow through there like it probably should have been. And so, we're gonna be, you know, we're not gonna be increasing by putting this here. We're hoping to be able to catch the upstream water, let the water that's in the ditch of Highway 13, try and get across Highway 13 first, monitor it before it goes over the top, before it has a chance to completely clog that culvert that's right there at Highway 13. So, we're modeling wise, we're hoping to be able to stage this a little bit to be able to try and, you know, mitigate how some of that goes through there.
That's the biggest concerns, that I'm getting the feedback is people are very concerned that putting the retention ponds aren't going to, isn't gonna relieve the amount of water that, you know, once the McDonald's gets into basically the dam. Everything's happening.
Well, the dam right now is actually the road, the culvert of the road. It's not the, it's not the.
But now we can fill that whole area where.
Right, and now, and
McDonald's,
that's why we're putting that compensatory storage in there, to be able to have the area that would have been able to be filled by water in that lot where he's having potential commercial development. One of, you know, he's got two lots there that we've subdivided, one for a commercial lot and the other one that's being submitted as the proposed McDonald's. But to allow development of those while providing an offset for, that fill in the floodplain.
There'll be 2 ponds up there, two.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's,
Tying into a system that this new mitigation system, will it support it, or will we be overloading it with first big water incident?
so we're meeting it depends on what you want to classify as big incident that, you know, that's out there. I mean, by the ordinance, we're providing over and above what's required by ordinance right now, by providing the compensatory storage. There's nothing in the city's codes that requires that. We're providing that here in addition to the live storage that's required.
Another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have all the necessary permits been approved, and if so, can P and Z and the council see these permits?
So the drainage area is less than a square mile, so very similar to what was the Dollar Fresh. The DNR doesn't regulate over this since it's less than a square mile of upstream drainage area. We have filed a floodplain development permit with the city. We do have our NPDES permit, which is a stormwater permit during construction, as a general permit through the DNR.
Did you have to get a RISE certification for that? Have they gone?
No.
That's right, and that's true, flood.
If it was a
Not
floodway, we
we're
would
not
have to have
floodway,
that
we're-
certification.
I got one question.
Yes, Bill.
So will I guess they would call it a right of, I don't know, do you call it the right of way? I think it's their own private drive connect between there and.
So if you remember, when we brought the subdivision plat before the city council, there is a continuation of the access easement across both lots. I don't know if it's 1 and 2, it's of the subdivision. So of the 2 lots that Wes had created as part of the subdivision, there is a 50-foot access easement across there. So the new driveway that is currently the responsibility of the applicant for lot 2 will, or the McDonald's lot, will have legal egress so that it can basically act as a frontage road across there. So everybody will have the ability to use that.
And they are in the process currently working with the DOT to get a driveway access put in there. The DOT is requiring them to have a traffic impact study completed. There may have to be some turn lanes put in place, that would all be at the applicant's cost. But it would be a private driveway. It's not a city right of way that goes onto their property that connects onto the rest of those easement areas. And again, that frontage road is private. The city does not maintain or pay for that.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Was 11th Street supposed to be extended to the north at one time?
There was a plan, long-range plan to have 11th Street go to the north. There were some difficulties in doing so based on the split of the property between two different property owners at the time. Plus, when we start looking at culvert extensions and sizing, it never came to fruition, but that is why south or north 11th Street goes the way it does on the west side of Animal Health to project on down there if that was to occur at some point, but that does look like it's changing, so it will just be a driveway. But the city did have an agreement with the DOT regarding access limitations along West Main Street, and so that's where the only other location with an access plan.
I just don't want to vote for anything till I know all the facts and, because if it does flood and people are bad, we're gonna get credit for it.
I
We
can't,
don't want to.
I'll let, you know, Wes, if Wes wants to come up here and talk,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't guarantee that something is not gonna flood. We're working to try and make
Right.
sure that we're not creating an adverse impact to.
Correct.
to the neighbors.
Correct. Yeah, what, did you want to speak?
Yeah, thank you. Just a couple points to tack on what Jason said is that I would just encourage you to listen to the experts. Jason has a tremendous amount of experience. McDonald's Corp has a lot of engineers on staff. Obviously, it's been through city planning and zoning committee, city staff's approval, multiple federal, state, and local agencies. But then I think you have to zoom out from a 50,000-foot view. So I'm personally making the private investment to improve this area. Honestly, this has never been managed before. Like, it is bleeding out of the pond and it's never been managed before. And so what we're doing is well thought out, designed and calculated by the experts. And I think to zoom out even further, it brings business to town. You guys are looking at approving a site plan of one of the biggest companies in the nation, in the world, McDonald's Corp, to develop in Manchester, Iowa is pretty awesome. So I don't want to lose sight of that. Gives great curb appeal to our main street. When other businesses come to town to invest, they look and see who's already here. So it makes them feel safe when they go to invest those dollars. Roughly $33,000 per year in bottom line taxable revenue is an approximate estimate and creates more jobs in our community. So I think multiple angles to this, but I just want to let you guys know that we have a great team. We've thought this through for longer than it's been on Facebook, and you know, it's not costing the city any dollars as well. I think it taps into the investment you guys did with the water main that was done a couple of years ago. So $0 from the city of Manchester, 2 commercial lots, 1 goes to McDonald's. Opportunity is up from here. So, thank you.
Any other questions for Wes?
Wes, I got a couple questions for you. First, so I watch a lot of the social media and seeing what the community's saying.
Yeah.
It's mixed reviews on the McDonald's aspect of it. It's free enterprise. I didn't know if you wanted to kind of go into a little bit of how McDonald's came to be and not say Taco Bell or something else.
I mean, I don't know if I could really speak to that a whole lot. I mean, they pursued this location. They pursued Manchester because of our community, the makeup of it, the traffic counts. There's a lot of research that goes into it. They love this location. They're super excited to contribute to the community. And I think the aesthetics of the building that they're gonna put forth is awesome. And, I mean, if people don't want to eat at McDonald's, they don't have to. So, yeah, so that's kind of how I would speak to that.
And then, my second question is that second lot, are you gonna share with us if you got anything coming?
Couple conversations in the works, but obviously there's, opportunities there that I think, you know, in the next 2 to 5 years could easily be developed and, you know, that's what development is about, is improving the land, being good stewards of the land, making sure our partners, AKA the city, it aligns with those goals as well. So this is, you look at other areas of Manchester that have been improved, and this is, a part of it. So. Thanks.
Thanks for that, thank you. Okay, so before us, we have recommended action to approve the site plan. I hear a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan for McDonald's. I feel it's gonna be a good deal. I mean, as far as, yes, it brings another company to town. I do agree a little bit with like Wes says, when you have 3 major food companies and 4 counting Subway right there, 5 counting, Dairy Queen, that looks impressive when people come into town and they see you have, you know, Burger King, McDonald's, you know, Subways, Hardee's. I think it's kind of important, so I say yes.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further questions or comments?
I'm gonna say something. Okay. I always hate to see something come into town that kind of competes with something that's already there. And because we already have Hardee's and we already have Burger King, I feel a little sorry for them because the new guy coming into town is a little hard to fight against. I just want to say that I appreciate Hardee's and Burger King having been here for so long and serve this community. I also know that it's important to continue to build and to continue to, you know, get new businesses in here and so on. But I just want to kind of, you know, sound out to them that we appreciate the fact that they've been here for so long. So,
All of our restaurants.
right.
So, okay. If hearing no more comments or questions, Bill,
Yes.
Mary Ann,
Yes.
Linda? Yes. Brian
Yes.
and Joe.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Les. Okay,
Thank you, Wes, for the work you do to bring businesses to town. I appreciate it.
okay, next, we have, well, we might take action on this. We're gonna be talking about the pool bathhouse flooring replacement quotes. Doug's here to talk to us.
So you guys have the quotes in front of you from 3 different companies, and one of them has 3 different options. We've talked about this before, you've got some photos in front of you of what we're looking at, just looking to get the flooring replaced due to aesthetics and safety. I think that the quote from Surface Enhancement is probably, obviously is the lower one. The 3 options that they have given all seem like they're good options. I think I would lean towards the middle option, just due to the fact that it will, as opposed to the bare minimum option, it will hide imperfections and be a little bit stronger. We already know that the pool is up there in age, just call it that. And so I don't think we need to go super high. I just want it to look nice and be safe while we still have this facility.
We got this budgeted. Is there nothing, this is.
We would have to amend for this repair, and there is money in the general fund. But it would require a budget amendment from them.
Are there any other questions for Doug? No, thank you, Doug. All right. If there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion in second.
I move we accept the better bid, that sounds funny, from Surface Enhancement Company for $12,500.
400.
400.
$12,400, thank you. Thanks, Bill. Bill,
Man.
save me some money.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further questions or comments? Mary Ann?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
All right, next, we're moving on. I need a motion to adopt resolution 83. And that, 83-2025 will delete Manchester West Commercial Second Subdivision Lot 1 for the Manchester Urban Renewal Project area. I'll let you speak to this, Tim.
Yep, so this area is under our urban renewal plan. Because it was an urban renewal plan that was set up for economic development, there was a sunset of 20 years. We have less than 10 years left on this urban renewal plan for this location. So what we are proposing is we delete it out of the urban renewal plan. We'll reinsert it to restart the clock on this. This is the location for the Farmers Savings Bank.
Oh, okay.
And so this will help us do the development agreement that we would do with them for their tax increment financing. So there is a process. We'll delete it out of the urban renewal plan right now. Next, we'll come back and we'll set a public hearing to add it back in. We'll set up and talk about an amendment to our urban renewal plan. And that would talk about what we were offering and what the cap is. So this is just a process for us to work through our economic development with the new project coming in.
So ultimately, this would give us 20 years.
This
As
is
opposed-
restart the clock,
Yeah.
as opposed to. well, you-
Right now, we have
There's
less
like
than
6 or 7 years left.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to, I guess you would say, adopt the resolution to delete the West Commercial Second Subdivision Lot 1.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further questions or comments? Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
All right. Next, motion to adopt resolution 84-2025 will set Monday.
We have the ordinance first.
Oh, we have the ordinance. I skipped again. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. And this will be the first reading of that.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Just part of the
Sorry.
procedures. and
Yep.
reading.
Yep. The angle on this slide is getting me, I'm sorry. I need a motion to proceed with the first consideration and adoption of ordinance 6-2025. And this will be the first reading and consideration, deleting property from the tax increment financing district. Do I hear a motion?
So move, Mayor, for a motion to proceed.
And I'll second that.
Consideration.
Any questions? Bill?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
And Mary Ann?
Yes.
Okay, next. I need a motion to adopt resolution 84-2025 to set Monday, October 27th at 5 p.m. as the date and time for a public hearing on the designation of the expanded Manchester urban renewal area.
Yes. I'll move for approval of resolution 84.
I'll second
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, Mary Ann?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Linda?
Yes.
All right, next, we've been talking about the Bond Park angle parking. More discussion on this and potential action.
That's correct. So as we talked during our committee, will be regarding potentially adding additional parking for ball parking along the street there. We had a couple different plans that we talked about. We identified essentially a standalone parking lot or angled parking. And after discussion with the council, I think we were looking at doing the angled parking for the lower cost. Again, this is additional work outside the scope of what was originally bid out and what the engineers agreed to. So if the council is agreeable to incorporating this, this would be the time for us to do it, as we're doing Anderson Street project. Again, it does add about 9 parking stalls. It is angled parking, it's not a standalone lot, so it'd be similar to what we see up along Sherman Avenue. Really what the engineers have put together is a $6,500 estimate for their cost with a total estimated cost. Again, these are estimated costs until we get the bids back based on the engineer's estimate. The total, including engineering, would be about $46,680. It's just an option for council to consider at this time, and if we're going to do it, this would be the time to do it prior to the plans going out.
So just for some clarification, Tim, we can potentially vote yes to proceed forward with the angle parking. And just like what we did with the bomb park structure, if the bid comes too high, we don't have to take it.
Yeah, Sam, just know that
We would, the way we would set it up is we would just include this right with the base bid. Well, the one that will come next to Butler Street, you're gonna set that one up as an alternate, but this we were gonna just include right in with the base bid. If it would come in too high, we could just eliminate it, cause we'll have a curb running up through there, we could just eliminate that and just add the curb going up through there, cause there'll be one there, it'll just be a full curb instead of a gravel curb for the parking lot. There won't be a major change, but we could eliminate it out, but otherwise we just have it as a base bid for the project. And, you know, we use basically the same unit price estimates for the base bid that we provided you with an estimate last spring. But again, it all just kind of depends on what bids come in at. And we'll have a little more, you know, communication stuff with city staff, and I just briefly touch base with Doug, here tonight. He talked about maybe moving that sidewalk a little bit south, to the south side of the structure, but that's the coordination we'll have between Doug, Jason, and then, Metrics as well. So, and we did say added the ramp on the north end, so on the north side, you can kind of walk up and get out that side as well. So
Right.
there's a couple different access points, and obviously the one where the ADA stall will be.
Well, I would like to move forward on 6.7 for the Ballpark annual park.
My only thought on this is, it's $46,000. I walk there every single night. I walk my dog every day up there, and I really don't see the existing parking lot ever full. I don't see people parking in the streets. I realize we're gonna upgrade the shelter, which is gonna allow for people to have maybe events there, which I can argue that too, but, I don't know, this is a big pill for me to swallow on adding that to what's already there, you know, especially when I don't see the parking in the regular parking lot now. There's just not a lot of people that spend time in that park. A lot of kids come in, a lot of people walk through there. And I think that's when people see people, they're like, well, there's a lot of people in there. They just walk through the trail, you know?
Is that just this year, can I ask Brian, or years before? Because I mean, there's not a
Been here
shelter there
14
right now.
years Walking through there, and I've walked
Okay.
every one of my dogs that I have through there every single day, every single night, and I just don't see the, you know, I know we need to upgrade the bathrooms, the ADA factors, I know we need to do that. I'm even having a hard time with adding the shelter, I really am. We have enough, you know, it's just one more adding expense to the city. I'm having a hard time. I love it, it looks great, I just don't know if it's gonna be utilized. And that's hard for me to, you know, relay to the people out there that, you know, we're spending this much more money on this already. This is above and beyond the budgeted dollars. And, you know, we just bought a K9 unit that wasn't, you know, and there's just a lot of expense going out, and, you know, where do you reel it in? Just my opinion, this is just my opinion. I just don't see the need.
We still have a motion on the floor.
I will second it because I believe that there's a need. I believe that if we are going to put up this shelter, it will be used. I have seen a lot of families that used to use it. And I think that they will use it again. If we have decent bathrooms in there where people can go, if I was a parent, I would not at this point take my kids there to play because of the bathrooms, quite honestly. I would go to Central, or I would go to Churro, where there are better facilities for my kids. So I think that if we get these bathrooms taken care of, if we get a good shelter in there, I believe people will go back to that park and start using it again. So for that reason, I think this is the time to do it. It's a building block towards building that park back to where I would like to see it come. So for me, it's an important thing to do, so. Did I say I second it?
Yeah, you
Oh,
did. I got that
okay.
written down, yes. Any other comments or
I like the angle parking. I like the idea of the shelter coming back. We had my mother-in-law's 80th birthday party under the old shelter. Bathrooms were a little small, but the grandkids liked it because they could run over and use the park. And I agree with Mary Ann. It's kind of a building block, putting the park back up to where it was again, that I think people will start using it. Sometimes they can find, the other two big parks being used and not have a shelter to go to. We liked it because it had a playground nice and close. We could see the kids. And we knew they didn't have to go down by the water and play in them and didn't have to worry about that. So, yeah.
Do you have anything to say, Joe?
Yeah, I'm torn just like Brian is. I rely on the community quite a bit when I vote on something. I encourage the feedback, and I didn't get any feedback one way or the other on Bond Park with the angle parking, aspect of it. So I kind of struggle with that just because now I just have to look at the homework I've been able to accomplish in that time frame. I mean, I think that if we build the park nicer, that we'll get, more traffic there. I know that as far as my family goes, as far as our family reunions and stuff, we don't use Baum Park because of the bathrooms, because the shelter's not there anymore, so. Otherwise, we probably would.
Are there any other comments or questions? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call a vote. Linda?
Well, I'm having reservations after the comments by, Brian and Joel. Could we live without that parking and just proceed like it is and just put that building back up that was lowered by the tornado?
I think the question, yeah. Because it was, we have some insurance money coming in for this, correct?
It's 15,000.
15,000 is all, yeah.
Yeah, so there's not much for the shelter. Council can make any decision they choose on this, we'll live with them. Again, the park was used, I agree with Brian that it doesn't get used much now because of the conditions of, but I think there's qualifiers here. I think because of the conditions of the bathrooms, the shelter is gone. When I talked to Doug earlier, he said that was the second most reserved shelter when it was in place. Because people like that park area. Now, it is what it is, and there is a nice trail there. There's places for people to go. It's just up to the council as to whether or not you want to spend the money if it's determined to be warranted.
It's off the bikeway walkway, right off the bikeway walkway, and it also has our beautiful veterans memorial there.
So if we do hold events there, additional parking would be beneficial. There was a time where we had a Barber Fest there.
We also will be adding the flowers above the walkway,
Archway.
which I think is going to be a big draw to that park. And so I think there's a lot of things to consider here, that it's not just putting in parking, it's putting in parking to allow people to use the park. So, like you said, Joe, if it comes in too high, we can always cut it out. It's not like it's written in stone right now, right? Because if we decide that we would like to put the parking in as a part of this proposal that we're going to put out for a bid, if that part comes too high, we can always say, can't afford it. But if we don't put it in, we'll never know. A lot of the bids we've been getting have been low lately because people are hungry for work. They need the work. And so I'm hoping that when this whole process comes in, it's gonna be lower than what Sam thinks it's gonna be. So, yeah, well, I know, I'm not holding you to it, Sam, but I'm hoping, so.
So Mary Ann, what you're saying is if the bid comes in higher, we can totally.
Just like we did last time.
Just like we did before.
Just like we did last time.
So I just think that if you don't put it in, you never have the chance to do it.
Right.
If we put it in and then it doesn't work out, then we can always say, oh, that didn't work, but things haven't worked before, I just feel like we have to go ahead with it. We have to be proactive. We have to make the decision that this is important to us and that we want this park to be better than what it is. And this, to me, is the first step of that.
the old story, Mary Ann, if you build it, they will come.
Make a movie about that. Oh, no, wait, we can't. Let's say if we build it, they will park there. How's that?
There you go.
Okay.
Well, I will vote yes under the conditions that if it goes over the budgeted plan, no, we will, cut it out and not put it in. We would do that.
You can vote yes tonight, understanding that there is that potential, you may cut it out later.
Yeah.
But you can't put that stipulation in
Okay.
now as you don't know what's
Just,
going to
you
happen.
can't stifle another council's.
Okay. I'll vote yes then.
Miriam,
Yes.
Joe?
Like I said, I just think it's feedback to vote no, and I'm thinking that, what the community is seeing is something that I didn't pick up on, and for that reason, I'll vote yes.
Okay, Bill?
Yes.
Brian?
No.
Okay. All right, next we have the East Butler Street Extension, additional scope agreement with Berkeley. Thank you, Steve. Are you gonna be talking about this too?
Yeah. He will.
Tim will
Tim
start.
first?
Tim will start. So as with any project, you question, where do you start, where do you stop? And so there was some discussion at the staff level is, are we better off extending the water and sewer lines past the double culverts on Butler Street before we stop the project? Or are we better off just stopping it east of those culverts and we'll connect onto those when we do Butler Street? The estimated cost here is quite a bit. Staff wanted to review this process. This really is a council decision, but I also feel there's a high price to this. And Butler Street, East Butler Street is not in the next 5-year or 10-year plan. So the question comes into is, will the underground pipes, they're obviously going to last 50 to 75 years, but are we connecting on at that point to pipes that may be 15 to 20 years old? I understand there's culverts there that we want to get past because there's 2 of them and they're hard to get through, but that may be a project we can look at another day. But this was discussed at the council, or the committee of the whole meeting. We want to bring it back to the council for final confirmation.
Is there any way this can be scoped so that anybody can determine? I mean, we've got this great camera
Yeah, the camera's fine for the sanitary sewer, but it's a water main that was,
and you can't run through that. Okay.
no. We had a water main break there 6 years ago. Of course, it was in the middle of winter. We ended up having to dig out one to its culverts in order to replace it. But again, the estimate came in higher than anticipated. So staff understands if this item gets done.
I'm thinking we need to cut it at this point. I just don't feel like we have the ability to do it and some other things. Would I like to do it? Sure. But I just don't think we have the money available right now. And so for that reason, as much as I hate to, I would say we put it off and pray that nothing happens, because it could break next week and then we have to fix it. But let's hope that that doesn't happen.
Anybody else?
I agree, Mary Ann.
What did you say, I missed that?
She said I agree.
I agree with Mary Ann when she says we just, put it up for this time since we don't have the money. And,
It'll just be included when we get to East Butler Street.
right, let's do it, Brian.
I agree.
I was personally hoping we'd be able to sneak it in, but I mean, at this price, now's not the time, I don't think.
Bill?
I agree with Joe. I just like, you wouldn't think it would come in that high, but it was a little hard. Yeah, I think this time you just have to put it off the time again.
Okay. Do we know, we don't need to take any action?
There's no action.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Sam, that was easy. He did all the talking. All right, but if you want to stay up there, we have engineer updates. You can just start off.
Yeah, not much. Been having kind of calls here and there with city staff as we got permanent easements out, the city did, so. Been having some different questions, discussions regarding easements and some other items, whether it be, you know, sewer services, sump pumps, different things like that. Windstream Peer Services is the engineer for Windstream. They submitted a plan to us a week or two ago. We provided some comments back. Haven't heard anything. I'm assuming, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they'll have to get a permit through the city regardless before they do anything, correct? Windstream?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so regardless, city staff should be seeing something or a permit before they just start work. And then MediaComs, they had that meeting with them back in August and waiting to kind of get their, final plan submitted to us to kind of look at. Did let them know, nothing between curb and sidewalk, so they were gonna work on obtaining easements. Some of them in similar places where Alliant would be, so they would try to keep, we talked to them about trying to keep pedestals in one location. And so just kind of waiting to hear back from them as well. Otherwise, they're the only two that are kind of outstanding right now.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
When do you anticipate we'll start special assessment proceedings? Not that I wanna rush
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll get we're getting some things figured out and we'll try to get, so we haven't sent temporary easements yet either, so we'll get a letter together that has the public notice, so we'll get kind of preliminary quantities and estimates. I know before we have the public meeting, we wanna make sure that we have some of these things figured out, kind of preliminary assessments, somewhat an idea of those. So I'm hoping the intent would be end of month, early October, kind of get temporary easements sent out with public notice, to have a public meeting. To bring any more questions that people may have, so we get those addressed in the plans, get set up to get things kind of going here. Which I know you guys need to start doing the preliminary proceedings and all that stuff before we get to final.
We'll have to just get that to Dorsey and we need to have, hearing on that.
So we do have a public input meeting with homeowners
Prior
prior to.
to that.
Yeah, the end of month, early October is what we're shooting for right now. So, we was a meeting with MediaCom, and did have a property owner kind of approach me, asking some questions, and I, she's getting some questions from neighbors, and I, let her know that people ask. The city will be having a public meeting, we're getting notices sent out before, this fall yet, so. But so if anybody asks, you guys likewise, there will be a public meeting held for that, likely at the fire station,
Okay,
so, but,
okay.
yeah, all right. Thank you.
Any other questions for Sam? No? Okay, thank you, Sam. Jason, do you have anything else you want to tell us tonight?
I guess the only thing would be, it's not necessarily my project, but I'm ancillarily involved with it. The contractor did start on the fire station parking lot today. So they're getting the intake set and getting ready to strip the rocks, so you'll see concrete on the rest of the gravel lot going down here shortly. Randy's out there. Just like let everybody know what they did, actually mobilized today and start.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jason. Okay, Jim.
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Can I ask you a question
Sure.
while you're there? Because I know some people have been, concerned about some city properties that are not looking, there was a letter to the editor just recently, about some properties that are not looking very nice around in their neighborhoods, and it's not real nice to drive through. Can you kind of give an overview of where we are with some of our,
I don't know if they're ones that have been referred to us or not.
I don't know either, they were kind of vague with the,
Before I leave, if you could let me know which ones they are so we can check on.
We don't know. There's nothing on there.
just kind of, can you kind of tell us the
Sure.
process that we're
One of
being
the
going
properties-
through? Yeah.
People, assume that we have people driving around town looking for nuisances to abate. And we don't have the resources to have us out patrolling. We tend to respond when somebody brings a concern to us. It doesn't mean we don't look for others, but if somebody will file a complaint, come to the city and say, this property, we think it's a nuisance, would you look at it? We will look at it and let them know. That is, but not everything that is ugly or unkept is a nuisance.
Right.
So there are certain standards we have to meet, usually broken windows, junk cars, furniture in the yard that's not lawn, things like that, tires. It's really it depends on each circumstance, but I would encourage anybody in town, if you have a neighbor that you're upset with, bring it to our attention, because we don't always see everything that comes in. We don't have the resources to do them all at once, so we tend to do as they're brought to our attention, we do it, and that often will then result in somebody we go after say, well, what about my neighbor who's got these 5 problems? Well, they're next. We can only take them one at a time. But I would encourage anybody that's got concerns about their neighbor's property, we'll look at it. We'll send them either, yes, we can do something, or not.
And we have been working with a lot, I mean, you guys have.
We have a lot, but in fact, I was gonna look it up while we were here. I got an email confirming we have another hearing set
Okay.
for one of ours. But when you get the email, it doesn't tell you who it is.
Right,
So, but one just got set this afternoon,
Okay.
so
okay.
we are still moving forward.
One of the challenges we run into, like the letter to the editor was stated, is we do have an ordinance on tall grass.
Right.
Unkept bushes is not in the ordinance, so if they let their bushes grow out wild, that's not a nuisance.
Unless they obscure an intersection.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's a challenge. If it's up against the house and it's overgrown, it's just an overgrown bush up next to the house. And unfortunately, not everybody agrees with what everybody's standard of living should be.
Or when their lawn impedes on their sidewalk and you can't walk on the sidewalk anymore. So anyway, okay, well, thank you, Jim, I appreciate that. Okay. Tim,
The barricades have been removed off of Line Street and, what's the other street up there? Hansel, thank you. We've done our concrete patching up there, that taken care of for this year. There's a few more things we'd like to do, which that'll probably happen next year. We have 2 staff members in Texas right now at sweeper training school. That was part of the purchase agreement. They took them down there to train them on the sweeper for troubleshooting and maintenance. So they have a better understanding how that machine works and what it takes to keep it going. This is all at Timco's expense. That was part of that.
Not city.
Not city expense. And then last week I did attend the Iowa League of Cities annual conference. There's a lot of cities out there face the same problems and struggles we do here. A lot of us are concerned as to see what the legislators are going to do this year. Property taxes is still #1 priority. Childcare, I am on the Manchester Childcare Board here. We are going to be kicking off our capital campaign October 1st to make childcare sustainable. That's one of the biggest challenges we have, is trying to understand how to do that with ratios for infants, is 4 infants to 1 teacher. With, how do you pay that teacher and keep the childcare cost affordable? So we'll be working on that and having stuff coming through. But with the Iowa League of Cities, again, we talked a lot about flood control, water quality, and property taxes.
all right, anything else?
No.
Okay, Erin?
I sent out an email this afternoon with a spreadsheet. Linda had actually asked about it, and it's not one that you routinely get, so I thought I would send that out. Just updating you with the debt information. Every year in August, I'm required to submit a report to the treasurer of the state of Iowa about the city's outstanding obligations. All cities are required to do that. I have a spreadsheet I use to prepare that. It lists out all the debts, how much is outstanding, how much we paid down, any new debts we issued, and then the balance at the end of the fiscal year. So when I got to looking at that, I thought it might be useful for everyone else to see. So I did send an email. If you have questions on it, please let me know.
Absolutely. Okay. Pete?
I do have just a few things. More so just a warning, so, election season, as you stated, is upon us. I think it's nobody's surprised that our nation is in a interesting location, both politically. We've had a few calls of people that have signs out, that their signs have been destroyed and or stolen. I think I've been here long enough that the council and the citizens know that I'm an equal opportunity law enforcement officer, and I will not, and my department will not stand for that. We don't care what side of the fence you're on or how you vote, but respect other people's property, and that's the warning for that. And again, for the individuals standing up here, know that the citizens are watching and listening to every word more so now than they are any other year. As Mr. Pointer said, we are listening to the staff, but so is the city staff. So, just make sure you're doing what's right for the city. And if there's questions about that, please come down to my office, but, do not destroy any political signs in town. Okay?
Thank you, Chief. Okay, Brian?
No.
Linda?
I just want to put a plug onto what Tim was saying about the childcare thing on October 3rd. We're gonna have a cookout. I believe it's gonna be a family.
You're correct.
And more information to follow. And I also had somebody talking to me today who is trying to walk the streets with a walker, and some of the sidewalks along North Franklin are, some are very bad shape, that's all. We need to get Tim.
Yeah, and he is surveying Ward 3 this year. Every year we look through a ward to go through and mark sidewalks that need to be repaired. Letters will be going out this fall for fix in the spring or summer. So Ward 3 is this year's area. Portion of it.
Okay. And piggyback on that, Linda, when we had Snyder here with the P and Z, we were kind of talking to them. I said something to Nate about, we had somebody reach out to us about, she's handicapped and about the handicap accessibility when we're doing the downtown too. So I added that in on that, so.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, anyway, okay, thank you. Mary Ann, okay. Joe?
Yeah, I just want to kind of echo off of, the police chief, about the political stealing of signs and the violence and all that other stuff. And this is Manchester, Iowa. This isn't the entire country. Like, we're better than this. I think we got great representation that's running for office today. And I think that the, 3 people that are running against those, incumbents are also great choices. We don't need to stoop to that level of silliness, in my opinion. So hopefully the community can kind of just band together a little bit here and just let it run its course.
Amen. Anything else, Jen?
No, it's a.
Okay, Bill?
The only thing I got is a couple people told me about a couple of areas where some of the corners where like some of the signs and signage are, whether the homeowner owns a bunch of that, where the grass is getting a little tall. So they didn't know who to mention it to, so I said,
That is one of the challenges with the signs that are out there. Some of the homeowners will mow around them. They will not pull the signs in order for them to mow.
no, these weren't signs. These were like stop signs and poles and.
The property owner is still responsible to maintain those.
Okay, that's what I wondered. I said, that's what I thought.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we need to, Tim's out tearing around to see.
I'll have them, if you have some locations, let me know.
All right.
Okay. Also on the childcare thing, they're going to be doing can I announce that? A roundup at Fairway, roundup to the next dollar for our childcare, campaign that we're doing, the early childhood, and it's gonna be October 1st through the 11th, is that right?
No, it was,
Something, October 11th through the end of the month, maybe
Yes.
that's what it was, October 11th through the end of the month. So you can round up at Fairway to, help us meet those goals as well, so we hope you'll join us. I don't have anything else. I want to thank you all. We have 2 government students here tonight. We have Carsland Griswold and Taylor Stiefler. Did I say that? Stiefler. They have to ask us some questions tonight. And yeah, do you want to come up to the podium and you can each take your turn?
They're like, do we have to?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's okay. You didn't have a question?
No.
Okay, neither one. You understood everything tonight?
About my other considering city government for taking a board position without being their own city.
Would you guys now? I mean, you think about getting into public life?
I feel like it'd be very interesting. Yeah.
You learn a lot, let me tell you. Yeah.
Are you seniors?
Yes.
What are you doing next year? There you go. Political science. Good luck.
Well, we thank you for coming. So anyway, okay, with that, I'll take a motion from Brian, a second from Bill. We are adjourned and have a great day.